So when I cut that big tree a few months ago, well, I didn't cut it. When Rich cut that big tree a few months ago, he left a massive stump. And my good buddy next door, Phil, came over with his tractor and moved it back into the woods. And when he did that, he created like a little path that went back in the woods. And my bright-eyed wife saw it and said, "Hey, wouldn't that be nice to have a trail in the woods?" And I thought, yeah, it sure would. Let's make one. So here I am in July, raking the woods. I'm creating a trail that goes from where that log is that I'm gonna take a chainsaw and turn into a bench. And then it's gonna come through the woods here and go all the way down to where the building site's gonna be down there where my wattle fence is that then leads down to the creek. We've got an outlet coming from just behind the garden that goes and stops right here and then proceeds back up through the woods that way. So I'm building this trail that goes back through the woods and then comes out up there where we cut those trees. The next step will be coming from the garden to this intersection and down through the woods in a little bit of a windy fashion through the woods that'll bring you out down by that brown storage building, and then you can hang a right and go down to the creek. And then this is the stump that was pushed up into the woods here. So we cut those trees there, left a massive stump. Phil came with a tractor and made this path here all the way back to that point where he just pushed the stump into the woods to rot. But me being me, I think, oh, a chainsaw would make a really nice bench right there. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna cut it and make a bench. It's a start. Got one little chunk out, and it's going to require me to sharpen that saw. Just let it cool down and sharpen it in between chunks, but I think 4 or 5 chunks will get it done, and then I'll have a bench. So this is where I inoculated this stump right after we cut this tree down. I inoculated it with turkey tail mushrooms. And I mean, the plugs are there. They still have the wax cap for the most part. We'll see if anything happens. It'll be nice to get this stump flushed out full of turkey tails. That'd be really nice. I've got the trail raked until you get to this intersection here. That way we'll go down to the creek. That way we'll go up to the house. And I got it all raked pretty good, but I thought I would just define the path by finding some of these downed rotted logs Some of these are garden structure leftovers from when I was building the garden fence. And most of it is just stuff that I found laying in the woods. But I've stopped here at this intersection. Yes, I know this is just unprotected wood in a damp clay-filled hole, and it's not going to last forever. But you know what? I don't care. If I need to rebuild it, I'll rebuild it. I don't care. If this lasts for 2 or 3 seasons, I'll be happy. I will have gotten my money's worth out of it, which is nothing. And I think it'll provide a lot of enjoyment in those 2 or 3 years. And when it comes time to maintain it and rebuild it, that's what we'll do. In an earlier video, I mentioned these Ziploc food containers for holding water and stuff in. I'm doubling down on that. These things are great for when you're working out in the yard. I fill them up with ice and then fill them with water, add some lemon, some lime, a teaspoon of salt. And this goes a long way on a hot day like this. Yep, so this is what I take when I go out to work in the yard, because it doesn't leak. And I love it. That was an unsponsored endorsement, but Ziploc, you know, hit me up. Rule number 1, when you're working in the woods, keep all your tools in one pile. Because I've lost tools, they've just vanished into the woods. I don't know if the fairy sprites, the forest gnomes, took them, but they have never been seen again. I've looked and looked, and they are just gone. So keep all your tools in one pile so the gnomes don't get them, because they will. They're crafty like that. It's not like a gnome can walk into the hardware store and just go get a tool.